What's good, everybody? It's your brother Nubreed coming through with another live stream. You know, in life, everything ain't what it seems. The Bible tells us that your foes will be they of your own household, meaning those of your own fold, friends, family, colleagues, associates, which means there's a lot of demons in disguise. And as God's chosen people, you're faced with the task of overcoming all this adversity that is thrown your way. Some of you all were born into families that you were born to overcome. And it's a very sad reality, but it's the truth. And this is why the Bible tells us if you love mother, father, sister, brother more than him, you're not worthy of him. Meaning if you put anybody over your relationship with God, you can hinder your purpose. And if you allow anyone to sully your good relationship with the Almighty, you're not worthy of salvation. That's deep. See, ladies and gentlemen, one thing that you will learn in this walk is that you have to be prepared to go it alone at times, even if it's just for a season. You have to be prepared to take the road less traveled. And you got to be willing to make sacrifices in life. You got to be willing to cut off certain individuals. You got to be willing to be ostracized and isolated, even condemned sometimes. Because the truth of the matter is, brothers and sisters, a lot of people around you are really just demons in disguise who are plotting and preying on your downfall. And what you have to understand is people will hate you for whatever you do. See, the harsh reality is that most people don't want to see you succeed in life. And it's because those demons who are disguising themselves in these meat suits, they know that your success equals their downfall. They know that when you are walking in your purpose, when you are in the will of the Father, they know that that is a loss in the kingdom of darkness. So they plot, they strategize, they set traps. And the truth of the matter is, this happens sometimes knowingly and knowingly. People are able to be hacked because they haven't chose a side. And you'll notice who's really in full support of you when you got some motion going. When you're making moves to better yourself, when you go on your self-improvement journey, when you're taking steps towards a righteous direction, you'll notice who shows up and who doesn't. Some people love to see you down, love to see you hurt, and they hate to see you up. That's the truth. A lot of people who's supposed to be supportive of you, brothers and sisters, they're just watching. Watching from a distance. Waiting on calamity. Oh, y'all know some of these people. They be on your social medias. They look at all your stories. They look at all your feeds. They look at all that. They don't like. They don't comment. They don't say anything. But they watching. Oh, they watching. And believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of you all who mind your business, you are your authentic selves. You're not trying to put on a facade. You're not trying to keep up with the Joneses. You're just being you. All you brothers and sisters who are comfortable in your own skin, you pose a threat to those who are wearing a mask. You pose a threat to those who are faking for validation. And believe it or not, they watch with despitefulness and with torture, hoping every day that you will fall. And it just so happens that it's the mass majority. Most people don't want to see you win. The mass majority, they will be entertained by your pain. They would be completely happy and satiated with your struggle. And it's the harsh reality I need you brothers and sisters to understand, because once you can grasp this concept, you're going to lay everything out on the table and you're going to push forward no matter who is there beside you. Because you'll have the clear-cut understanding that everyone cannot go where you're going. They're just not designated. And no matter how you would like things to be, because you may have empathy, compassion, you may have love for people, they just can't go. Because they can't get outside of themselves. See, you're living in a world where a lot of individuals out there have selfish energy. And because they can't think outside of themselves, they cannot possibly be supportive of any of your endeavors. Because they don't have the understanding that when you can do something selfless in a time like this, that's a seed that's planted that the Most High God sees. That's a seed that's planted when you can do something selfless, when you're looking out for others, when you're being kind. The Bible says charity covers the multitude of sins. The Most High doesn't forget anything that you brothers and sisters have done for people out there, although they may have forgotten. How many of you all have been there? You've been the go-to guy. You've been the go-to woman. Everybody come to you. But when you down and out, tell me where they at. Believe it or not, some people are so conniving and treacherous that when you were doing for them, that made them jealous because they know that they can never do that for you. The love, compassion, empathy you show for them, they'll hate you for it because they know that you just held a mirror up of who they are not. And so they become envious, knowing that essentially you're just a better person than them. They could turn things around, but they were always demons in disguise. See, ladies and gentlemen, this is a new season where you got to get these spiritual parasites out of your life. Some of you all, if you don't start cutting people off, they're going to drain you of everything you are until there's nothing left. They will watch you deteriorate and it won't stop. Why? Because everybody out here is out for self. See, brothers and sisters, you got to get around big picture thinkers. People who can see the world for what it is. Now understand that there's a judge sitting high and looking low. And you got to be careful what you do out here, every move you make, every person you're around, because why? This is spiritual warfare. And there ain't too many real ones left. Some of you all got to look through your call logs and look through your contact list and really ask yourself, who's going where you're going? Are these people supportive of you? Are they there for the long haul? Are they reliable? And see, what you'll come to the conclusion of if you're looking at this from a spiritual vantage point, a lot of them just demons in disguise. Let's call it what it is. A lot of them are probably the complete opposite of what you want in your life. That's counterproductive, people. See, in my line of work, I realize how important human relations really are. I work in human relations. And in my line of work, I realize that the mass majority of us don't really have too many people that will support us. But we got a lot of contacts. We got a lot of people that we chop it up with. A lot of people who linger around. But what is the relationship built on? What is the relationship built on? Is it built on progress, improvement? Is it built on actually building? Or is it counterproductive? See, a lot of times we don't see who is who until we're placed in critical situations. Rather, you're having issues, something is problematic, or you're elevating and something is coming to fruition that you've been working on. One thing about it, every time you're in one of those two places in life, people gonna reveal who they are. See, ladies and gentlemen, the same people that you want to celebrate your accomplishments may be the very ones who are condemning your accomplishments when you get there. And it'll be people that you rooted for and cheered for. That's the harsh reality of it. They will reveal themselves. See, the truth is, when you're down and out, some people gonna show up for you that you didn't even expect to show up. Like the Bible says, a true friend is born out of adversity. But the Bible also tells you that a true friend is few and far in between, which means most people are shady and janky. See, when you down and out, those who show up tells you who's really there for you. And see, you got to be cautious, because as y'all elevate in truth, as y'all elevate in spirit, mind, body, soul, you got to be careful, because when you up, your guards can go down. When you winning, everybody seem like they supportive. Everybody seem like they rocking with you. Everybody seem like they there. But see, that's a prime opportunity for the demons in disguise, because you didn't just got comfortable in winning. That's the perfect time for Satan to send the lady in red. That's the perfect time for Satan to send Agent Smiths out the Matrix. Your guard's down. Your defenses is low. When there should be a time where you're even more observant. See, there's a lot of people with a lot of hatred because they don't really have a real relationship with the Most High. The Most High is mercy. The Most High is grace. The Most High is love. A lot of people have made themselves their own God, and the lust of their flesh they will do. And a lot of the times, ladies and gentlemen, when you elevating on a higher frequency, when your spirit is ignited because you're being obedient to the word, that frequency that you elevating under, it's going to really challenge those around you, their perceptions. It's going to make them question themselves. It may cause some intimidation. Why? Because you're shining a light in dark places. Now, now is the season and a time where we must realize where we're headed in life and move like we know what our purpose is. But you got to be sober and vigilant. Understand that your adversary is like a roaring lion seeking who he may devour. I want you brothers and sisters to keep y'all's head on a swivel. Be careful who comes in and out of your life. And I want y'all to understand this. When you're doing great things, the book of Proverbs told you that you will be at the round table with kings and queens. So when the people you attract is because you are doing certain things in life that are beneficial to your legacy, your dynasty. When you are doing things that are beneficial and you attract those kind of people, understand that they're a magnet to the success because they are chasing success too. Those are the people you want to be around. Brothers out there, you looking for a woman, a wife, whatever the case is, whatever work you're doing, that woman can be right underneath your nose. Whatever work that you're putting in, she'll be right there doing the same thing you doing. Ladies, you want a righteous man? Guess what? You keeping your eyes open, legs closed, staying focused on your goals. That's the type of man that you're gonna connect with. It's all a gravitational pull. But nonetheless, brothers and sisters, be aware of those devils in disguise. Be aware of them. They're out there. And it's the mass majority. The Bible says broad leadeth to damnation. Narrow is the straight way. So it ain't too many real ones out there. When y'all come to this community over here, this is very rare. It's a lot of nonsense all over social media, but this community we have here is very much rare. Take advantage of that. Lock in. Anyway, more material coming. Y'all be blessed out there. Y'all stay safe. Shalom. Peace.